Here we are in War 7, Season 22, facing off against ASR. We know this one's going to be tough, so it's a max boost if you can war. And so I got the full rainbow on. I start off here on Path 9. This first fight's a tigra with rulk. It's not all that difficult. Pretty much just don't push her to SP2 and hope she'll throw the SP1 pretty easily. But you'll see, I probably could have pushed her higher, but I just was a little bit safe, you know. She pretty much melts pretty quick, but here's where I'm trying to bait, and she's being a little bit stubborn. I'm like, all right, there we go. You can punish her SB1, but I've not done it enough where I'm 100% comfortable with it. So, you know, it was going to be a quick fight anyway, so we're good. This next fight, is not easy. It's power focus 1 and hazard shift, but it's annihilus with someone who's not going to nullify his rod at all. And so you got to start off the fight basically getting him to an SP1 so you can, you know, get him to his SP1s for openings. So I start off this fight and I'm either like, all right, I'm either going to light intercept or I'll just hit his block and there, you know, do it that way. And there I tried to dash in and slipped. So there goes my indestructible, and now I'm stuck in the corner. Like, all right, come on, back up. Ah, crap. This is not how I wanted this to start. He's unstoppable. So I'm like, okay. That time I got very lucky with him not punishing me right there. So I'm like, all right, I'll throw another SP1. I'm not really happy doing this, but all right, now I can hit his block, get him backed up a little bit. Because when you're in your corner, he does not want to throw his special one. And even in the middle of the map, you can see here, he's kind of not wanting to throw the SB1. So there he finally throws it. I'm like, all right, there we go. Now maybe we've got this under control. So there we go. He's throwing the SB1 now. All right, this should be just fine now. And you can see from when I throw a full 5-hit combo, because of the power focus 1, it pretty much pushes him to a bar of power every time. So it makes it quite simple to, you know, just bait that to get your openings. And that's about it. It's a long fight because, you know, his cosmic rod, you know, makes it where you can't stun him. So you don't get that opening, and then, you know, if you slip up in the beginning like I did, then I didn't get to rulk's SP3 to, you know, lock it down. That time I didn't get him quite to an SB1, so, you know, hit his block and pushes him up to there. But after the rough start, you know, I've pretty much got this on lockdown now. I'm like, all right, come on, throw it, give me my opening. He's still not throwing it, but, you know, I'm like, just be patient. Eventually he'll throw it. Don't worry about it. There we go. And it's not going too bad now, but man, the start of that fight, eesh, that was rough. So here I'll throw the SP3 and this will kill him. So those science boosts really didn't come into play in either one of these fights. So as more wasted loyalty, 12K down there. But, you know, you do what you can when you're facing, you know, one of the top alliances and no more. So here we are in Section 2. I got 3 fights. It's Path 2, which is the strike, counter, power, and balance thing, or whatever it's called. I think I checked the nodes here, or on the next one I do. But so use magneto, start off with a heavy, then go for a medium, light, medium, and then a medium, light, and then a heavy. And then you're at an SB1, and you throw that off, and you'll eat recoil damage because I am running full suicides, but, you know, you do the most amount of damage. And you don't have the issues of having the buff imbalance, or whatever it's called, where it power drains you from the strike counter thing, taking away your power. And with magneto, he does deactivate, you know, most of the time the unblockability part of the SB1. So you saw him throw the SB1, but it didn't go unblockable because of the magnetization, which is the real dangerous part about Cosmic Ghost Rider, is that unblockable SB1. You know, it can, if you're not boosted high enough or running the right mastery setup, that Incinerate can kill you pretty easily. Moving on to this next fight, it's Thor Rags. Basically the same theory with Magneto, except I'll do even more damage this time because he's not bleed immune. But it'll be heavy at the start, medium, light, medium, then medium light, then heavy, then SB1, repeat. Or no, I forgot about this one. It has this stung once, so it puts the power sting on you. And so you do have to wait that out if you want to throw your specials. And I talked to my BG leader, B-Manny, about this fight. And, you know, he said just do whatever feels right in the, you know, in the fight, however you're feeling. So you can see me here. I'm just kind of waiting things out. And now I'll throw the SB1 because the power sting's gone. But there is the option of not worrying about specials at all and just going parry heavy style the entirety of all three of these fights, which with Magneto, if he was unawakened, I don't think I would do that because you don't get the extra burst damage. But since mine is awakened, and I think I've taken him up to Sig 200, it does become a more viable route. And so you'll see on these two fights, it didn't really matter. You know, I was going to kill him no matter what. So it was easy enough. But on this next fight, yeah, not so much. And this next fight's a Sentinel. I believe this is a rank 3 Sentinel. Let me check. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. But you can see where he's got buffet, but because he'll be magnetized, that's not going to come in to do anything. But the analysis charges are going to reduce my crit chance, and you know, my damage against, you know, a rank 3 6-star here just, you know, isn't as high as I kind of thought it would be with Magneto, because I am, you know, doing the same thing I did on those earlier fights, the medium, light, medium, the heavy before that, and then the medium light, and then the heavy, and the damage just isn't quite there. And I thought I had the parry there, but I didn't. But, you know, what's a dilly vid without, you know, screwing up and getting hit in the face? So, got that from the Annihilus fight and from the Sentinel fight. And you can see how I kind of play things a little bit on his SP1. I will evade this first part and then, you know, block a portion of the second beam, and then I'll evade the next part. And I did that because I was trying to prevent, you know, even though the analysis shouldn't charge up as much as usual because of the magnetization and the reduced ability accuracy, it still does build up some. You can see here he's already at 32, and you know, whenever as he gets those analysis charges built up, he's going to do more and more damage. So you kind of got to watch out for that. But as you can see, the difference between the Thor Rags being not being bleed immune and Sentinel being bleed immune, and both being rank 3 defenders, really shows, you know, for a metal defender, if you're not able to, you know, get the prowess high and just, you know, crunch with an SP3, you know, his damage isn't quite there. And here I start looking at my health bar like, oh boy, I'm starting to get kind of low. So I'm like, forget throwing specials. I'm just medium heavy, or parry heavy. And you can see it goes down pretty quick at this point because I do have pretty much max sig, so that extra burst damage I don't think gets reduced by anything. And but I got through the fight all right, and I learned a little bit about that path. You know, it kind of depends on what's placed there. But we come into the final fight, me for this war, and this is a long shot. He has no passive power gain, so I get to pretty much ignore that. I did switch up my masteries. I went with pretty much full 18 on the left, and then 3 glass cannon, 2 recoil, and then 3 in the bleed mastery. So, you know, a full magic build basically. And then I'm going to throw on, I threw on the power start 1 boost, and it's just, you know, take it slow. Don't mess around, because if he's running MD, you know, he could really mess you up pretty quick if you're trying to, if you mess up and deck something. But after you get that first lockdown, it's just, you know, keep the lockdown up, because aspect of evolution can come into play if you do allow him to get too much power. So, or if you have the power lock fall off, like you'll see a few times here in the fight where I'm not back up to an SP2, and so I have to push back up to it. And if you do that too many times and it pushes him over a bar of power, then, you know, the aspect of evolution will, you know, make it where if you don't have him locked down the whole time, then you're screwed. But overall, this is a pretty easy magic fight. You can see I do some stand-up intercepts, some backdraft intercepts. I try to stay on the safe side, so if something doesn't work once, then, you know, I kind of pause on it, and I'll, you know, reset the combo, beta heavy, whatever it is, and then I'll go back in after that and try again. But overall, pretty simple fight with magic. She's still just a beast at some of these fights, especially with an SP1 boost. Just lock them down and that's it. So I had a deathless war, but our BG, you know, kind of had a few issues. A couple hiccups here and there, but, you know, it's ASR. They've got a loaded defense, so yeah, it's going to happen. But overall, not a terrible war. We did lose, but it happens. See ya.